Every time I hear you say hello, all I see is yellow, like daisy.
Nationally known speaker, author, teacher, and coach, Camesha Hill Carter has spoken to thousands of people in many of these United States. As an expert in employee management, Dr. Camesha Hill Carter teaches people how to accentuate, build, and calibrate positive, powerful partnerships between leaders and employees. Camesha has published several books, but is excited to present today Help, My Employee is Driving Me Crazy. Camesha has graciously agreed to stay after to meet and talk with you today and today only. Camesha has educational products available to us at a special discounted rate. Ladies and gentlemen, a great speaker and even greater audience makes it easier and powerful to build a great partnership. So please stand up and give a round of applause to Dr. Camesha Hill Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Payton. And within 30 months, within 9 months, within 6 months, within 2 months, they quit on you. And then you have to go through the hiring process. So now instead of spending $30,000, you end up spending $90,000. How can we stop that? You ask yourself, they must be crazy. I am offering them an opportunity of a lifetime.
Right.
They decided that in the beginning, this was the best place for me. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Camesha Hill Carter, and I'm about to take you on a journey. A journey not to perfect, but a journey to understanding the emotional life cycle of an employee. Your employee go through 5 different stages in order to get to where we are in the business. We didn't arrive overnight, but what happens is that we persevered, we were happy, we were jubilant, we had overwhelming situations, we also contemplated, and we also managed our lives in order to get to where we are. So as leaders and trying to end our attrition rate, we need to help others move through the way through the life cycle that we did. So in my book, Help, My Employee is Crazy, Understanding the Emotional Life Cycle of an Employee, I have a couple of things that I would like to share with you out of my book, The Emotional Life Cycle of an Employee. The first stage of the book, or the first stage of the life cycle, is jubilating. I was 14 years old, wasn't supposed to get a job, but I ended up talking myself into a job. And that job was at shortstop. I was the fry girl because they couldn't put me over the money and they couldn't put me on the drink fountain because those were some dangerous things. Anything could happen because I was underage and they needed me and they believed in me. And so I went, hey, how you doing? I'm Camesha. I'm the fry girl. Hi, how are you? I'm Camesha. I'm the fry girl. And I worked that fry machine through rush hour. I had overfry. They said, that's all right. We can put this and we can account this for a loss. I said, all right, but I'll do better next time. And then the next rush hour came. I had enough fries. They didn't have to worry about how fries. Somebody ordered fries with no salt. I had that ready for them too. And then something happened. I lost my joy. They said, oh, Camesha, you're 15 now. You can move from fries to the cashier. I said, oh, I got this. I got great customer service. I've been trained up into all the training. And then I moved from jubilating to persevering. I moved from my comfort zone to a place where I had no clue as to what I was doing. They said, you need to learn these 32 different symbols. If somebody comes in, no mustard, you press this button. If somebody comes in, have mustard, you put this button. If they didn't want it in pickles, you press this button. And in myself, because I was a great fry girl, I can do the same with the cashiering, excuse me. So the first customer rolled up. I want two hamburgers with no cheese, no pickles, no onion. They didn't tell me how to do the cheese. I didn't study last night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand why I was, this should have been easy. All I had to do was count some money. Welcome to Shortstop, may I help you? We don't want no salt on our stove. Okay. Where's the no salt button? And so there I went from, hi, I'm Camesha Carter, the fry girl, to, Lord have mercy, what am I gonna do? I don't wanna seem bad in their eyes. And that's the first shift. Your employee goes from jubilating to persevering. And another word for persevering is survival. I was now in a survival mode. And when you think about the survival mentality, the person ends up being very, very reckless. They come over aggressive because they are in a flight or die, do or die situation. And so being in that do or die situation, I did not want to embarrass the people who bragged so highly above me just a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now I moved from there to, Lord, what am I going to do? I had too much pride to ask, hi, can you give me a day to train? So as a leader, we have to start looking at that particular situation. Did I provide enough training so they can move from one position to another? And I said, or you can think about, what is it that happened? It's a very powerful book out there, and the author name slips me. But what seat on the bus was I supposed to be on? I was very happy being a fry girl. I didn't want the prestige of the cashier, but they needed me. So because she's great over here, she'll be great over there, but that was not my seat.
Mm-hmm.
So I was ready to quit. And I had been there a year, and I had been a stellar employee. And I was ready to quit. So I moved from going through persevering to being overwhelming. That particular position overwhelmed me so that I said, you know what? Y'all can have this. I know I was great, but I can find another job that celebrates me instead of demeaning me. Because now not only am I being fussed at by the customers, but now I'm losing money. Camesha, why you can't get this order right? What is wrong with you? You can't run the register? Why are your register short? So now the pressure is on, and I'm overwhelmed, and I had no one to mentor me through the process. So with my letter in hand, I went to the general manager, and I said, you know what? I'm 15. I can go over here and work over here and flip burgers and whatever and make a better salary and do a better job. And the general manager asked 3 key questions. Who is your manager? Did they train you? And if they did train you, why didn't you get it? Let me say that again. Who was your manager? That took the responsibility off of me, the employee. Did they train you? Was I accommodated for the position that they asked me to have? Okay. And then, why didn't I get the training? So those are the 3 things they asked. So from there, I moved from being overwhelmed, because they said, it's not your fault, you weren't trained with it, to managing. And that's where you want most of your employees to be, in managing, because you lose 75% in persevering, you lose the other 30% in overwhelming. You want to shift them to managing, where they say, okay, I can do this. I might not do this well, but it's going to take time. And that's through coaching, okay? And so the last and final step is contemplating. And that's where you want all your employees to end up. And that saves you on money and time. Why? Because once I got the hang of being a cashier, I began to reflect on how I can help my business, or help the business move more fastly. So when I decided to be able to run the cashier register and help the person on fries, I was more advantageous and more helpful for my company than to sit up there and be utterly frustrated on the cashier stand. So those are the 5 stages. You have jubilating, you have persevering, you have overwhelming, managing, and contemplating. This is what I want you to do when you go back to your office. I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions when you observe your employees. I want you to ask them, what have I said positive to them today? And what are 5 adjectives that I can use to them to make them feel good about their position? The second question that I want you to ask is, what is one thing I can do today to move my team to be a high performance team? And the third thing, what can I do to inspire and build and train someone for my position? My name is Dr. Camesha Hill Carter, and I was so honored to talk to you today. And remember that in order to have great teams, you have to build positive, powerful partnerships between leaders and employees. Thank you. Have a great day.
Every time I hear you say hello, all I see is yellow, like daisies in the meadow. And I just thought you should know that every time you go away, my yellow turns to gray. What I'm trying to say